Hello and welcome to Archbellyoga. It's so wonderful to have you practicing with me today. The theme of our class will be presence. And in order to be present and to sit in this very moment, it's really wonderful to move in our body and start to notice things, and it really brings the mind into the now. But also there's a little bit of accepting our past, letting it go, letting it be in the past so that we can arrive in our present moment, and trusting that our future path and our future endeavours will be exactly as they're meant to be, and not worrying about them too much, which then allows us again to converge in the middle of our past and our future and come very much into the present moment. And there's this wonderful quote that I heard many years ago, and I cannot for the life of me remember who said it. It might have been the Buddha, but basically there's only 3 things in life that are guaranteed. We are born, and we will eventually leave this world, this physical world, and that we live in this very moment now. And that's always really stuck with me. So we're going to bring our body and our mind into this present moment, moving through our physical practice, moving through the movements of our physical body to help us come into the now and notice what's going on for us, and help us bless our past and bless ourselves as we move into the future. Okay, so without further ado, roll out your mat, come and join me. We're lying down, coming into an effortless rest pose. So we're coming flat onto our backs, keeping our knees bent, soles of the feet onto the mat. A tuck of the chin in towards the chest to lengthen up through the back of the neck. We're walking our feet out to the edges of the mat, and then we're going to let the knees fall in and support each other. Let the arms rest away from the body, palms facing up. Or if you feel called to, maybe the hands rest on the body somewhere. But find something that feels comfortable in the shoulders, maybe even lifting and lowering them to encourage them into a place of relaxing and releasing. And then tuning in with that breath, noticing the inhale through the nose and the exhale out through the nose. And just letting the breath find its rhythm. We're not trying to change anything. We're allowing it to be in this moment. We're letting the mind come and focus in on the breath. Feel yourself beginning to let go of the back, supported by the earth beneath you. The knees falling in towards each other, holding each other up. Allowing this present moment for you to relax the body. Let go of anything that brought you to this moment. Forget about anything you need to do once you leave this moment. All that exists right now is you lying on your mat, being with your breath, being in your body, drawing that focus to yourself. Beginning now to deepen that in-breath. Draw some energy into the body and just begin wiggling the fingers. Maybe lifting the hands from the floor. Making some fists and circling into the wrists. In one direction and then the other. On an inhale, lift the arms up and over the body, stretch the legs out to the edge of the mat, pointing through the fingers and the toes, stretching the whole of the body. Interlace the fingers, turn the palms away, take a deep breath in, a full exhale out, flex through the heels, push away the palms, stretching up through the back of the body. And release, inhale the arms back over the body. I'm going to draw both knees in towards the belly, hands resting on the shins. Squeeze those thighs, those shins down towards the body. Feeling the lengthening in the spine as it rests into the mat. On an inhale, we're going to stretch the arms away, straighten into the elbows, let the knees come away from the body. Exhale, squeeze those legs down towards the belly, bend into the elbows. Inhale and exhale. Moving with your own breath, being present with this movement and breath. Noticing the lower back, not overstretching the arms or the back. Not pushing too deeply. Finding that comfortable spot. At the end of the next exhale, just relaxing into a comfortable place. We're going to bring the left hand and interlace the fingers with the right hand on that right shin. Stretch away the left leg, pointing out and down through the toes, squeezing that right knee in towards the body. Drawing the left leg back in, switch the hands to the left leg, a moment of cross. Then stretching the right leg out and away from the body, stretching through the toes. Inhale, drawing back in, switch the hands, a moment of pause. Exhale, stretching out the left leg. Inhale, moment of pause, stretching out the right leg. Cycling now with your own rhythm. Being fully present in this movement. Few more breaths. And finishing on the left side, stretching out. Drawing that left leg back in. We'll meet here. Rock from side to side. Bring the soles of the feet to the floor. Just plant the back of the hips down into the mat. I like to place my left hand on the left hip here. I'm going to lift the right leg up into the sky, sole of the foot coming up towards the ceiling on the sky. Turning that right knee out, beginning to bend. And then the right hand's going to come to the back of the right thigh, the back of the right knee, or to the outside of that right foot. And we're just applying a gentle extra push with the hand, beginning to stretch that right knee down towards the mat as we exhale. Pausing as we inhale. And moving any amount deeper as we exhale. And wherever you get to is completely fine. Focusing on turning that right knee out. Letting that sole of the right foot become parallel with the sky above you. Relax the shoulders back down. Begin to notice any parts of the body that you've tensed up. Maybe a little tension in the jaw. Come back to a gentle breath. Bring the mind into the present moment, focusing on exactly what it's doing as we release out into that right inner thigh, the right groin, the right hip. Our half happy baby pose. Maybe the knee reaches the floor, but that's not the goal. We're just accepting wherever it gets to. Final few breaths here. Maybe a little sigh as you breathe. And an exhale, release that right foot back in towards the center. Let the sole of the foot come to the mat. Right hand comes to the right hip. Rock the knees from side to side. Letting everything rebalance, readjust. Coming back to center. We're going to lift that left foot up towards the sky. Sole of the foot becoming parallel with the sky. Turning out that left knee towards the armpit. Left hand comes to the back of the knee or to the outside if you can reach of that left foot. And then as you exhale, using just a gentle pressure, a gentle easement to begin moving that knee down towards the mat. And where it gets to really doesn't matter. Our goal isn't to reach the floor. It's to release out into that left thigh, that left hip joint. And breathing here, only applying any pressure or movement as you exhale. Coming back into noticing if we've tensed any areas of the body to get here. Can we relax the shoulders again? Allow the breath to flow in and out. At the end of the next exhale, release that left foot to center. Release the hand, bring it back to the left hip, foot comes to the floor and rock from side to side. Coming back to center, we're going to bring the hands behind the knees, rock through the spine. If this doesn't feel good, just coming over onto one side to come up to seated. And then when you're ready, coming all the way up. We're going to come straight on to the hands and knees. And just let the hips rock from side to side. And then we're lowering down on an exhale onto the mat. Forehead comes onto the mat. Arms come out shoulder height either side. You'll have to move along because the wall's there. So make sure you've got enough space to stretch the hands out. Palms of the hands on the mat. We're going to draw the left hand in towards the body, bending at the elbow. And we're going to push into that left hand, lifting the left side of the body up and rolling over onto the right. So we're creating a stretch into the front of this right shoulder. So only go as far as feels nice. You can ease it off by bending the knees a little, drawing them up towards the body. Or if you would like to increase the stretch, we keep the legs straight. We draw the top foot to come onto the mat behind the right knee, and we use that left knee to open and push back behind us, and you'll feel a deepening of the stretch. Be really present in the body here. Notice where you feel it. Notice how far the body wishes to go, how far it'll let you. Being very present with how it feels and exactly where you need to be. And then when you find that spot, simply breathing. If The left leg is behind the right leg. Release it back down. Straighten the legs. Allow that left part of the body to roll back down onto the mat. Release the left arm out straight. Take a breath or two, allowing the body to readjust. Coming into the opposite side. Right hand draws in towards the body, palm plants onto the mat, bending into that right elbow. Push into that right hand, rolling the right side of the body up, so we're coming to rest on the left side. And again, knees can be bent or legs can straighten. Top leg comes to rest behind that lower leg, and using that right knee to open out away from the body to deepen the stretch. Finding what works for you. And remembering, if you don't move far or you find this stretch very intense, just be gentle in this present moment. Show the body kindness. You're exactly where you're meant to be. And just come back to that breath. As you exhale, release that top knee, rolling gently back through to that center point. Release out the right arm straight. Just give the body a moment or two. Draw the hands either side of the chest. Push into the hands, lifting the body up. Coming through our tabletop. Tuck the back toes, lift the back hips, exhale up into our downward dog. Maybe pedaling out the feet if that feels nice. Walking into the back of the hips. Noticing where you feel it. Noticing where the stretch feels nice. Noticing if you need to stay a moment in one place. And then when you're ready, taking a deep breath in and pushing into the hands, lifting up through the hips. As we exhale, sink the heels down towards the mat. Find a moment of stillness, fully present in our downward dog. Then begin walking the hands back towards the feet. Bend into the knees, come into our fold, let the head hang. Let gravity do its work. Lifting the hips any amount higher. Then on an inhale, rising the arms up around the body. Rising all the way up, hands come together. Release them down to the heart, to the chest. Pausing in our mountain pose, release the hands either side of the body. Taking a deep breath here. We're then going to move the weight into our left leg. Lift the right leg up and hover that right foot over the left heel. Finding our tree pose. Lengthen up through the spine, draw in the core, make everything strong. Find our focus. Then release the foot back to the mat. Moving the weight into the right leg, lift the left foot, draw it and hover it over the right foot. Pushing down through that right leg to keep us strong and steady. Lifting the core in and up. Drawing the energy up and out through the crown of the head. Embracing any wobbles. Being present. Exhale, release the foot. Rebalance. Bring the hands to prayer. Inhale, rising up and opening out. Exhale, coming down through our fold. Inhale into a halfway lift, lengthening through the spine, drawing the chest forward. Exhale into our fold. Walking the hands forward, coming out into our downward dog. Exhale. The hips up and back. Energy coming down through the back of the legs, out through the heels. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, release the knees. Lower to the mat. Elbows draw in, hands push into the mat. Inhale up into our cobra pose, keeping the elbows bent. As we exhale, lift the hips and come up, back into our downward dog. Then drawing that right knee in towards the chest. Shift the body forward, shoulders coming over the wrists. Let the right foot come down in between the hands or walk it up there. Drop that back heel, bend into the front leg. Inhale, rising up into our warrior two. Viparajasana. Readjust the legs if you need a little more space. Knees coming to stack over the ankle. Arms stretched out from the body, chest open from the center. Breathing here. Straighten that front leg. Turn those front toes out to a diagonal, out to the corners of the mat. Left toes do the same, so draw that left heel in a little. Inhale, rising up, hands come together. As we exhale, sink into those knees, drop the hips, open the arms out into our cactus arms, finding our goddess pose. Breathing here, finding the presence. If we feel we can go a little deeper, you do on the exhale, sinking the hips. Push the knees out. Inhale, rising, straightening the legs. Release the arms. Walk the feet a little closer together, coming back to hip distance width apart. Find our mountain pose. Nice and steady on the mat. Moving the weight into the left leg. This time, we're going to lift that right foot and bring it to the inside of the left shin. If this feels a little too wobbly, go back to what we did just a moment ago with our tree pose. Hands come together at the heart. Find your focus. Be fully present in the body in this moment. Let your energy guide you. If you fall out, just come back in. Nothing like a little bit of cat love just as we're balancing. Last breath. Release the arms out either side of the body first. Release the foot. Widen our stance. Turn those right toes out towards that short edge of the mat. Bring the arms out either side of the body. Take a deep breath in. Exhale out and down into our warrior two. On an exhale, release the hands either side of the foot. Lift that back heel. Step it back into our downward dog. And as you exhale, walk those hands back to the feet. Exhale into the fold. Inhale, rising all the way up. Fingertips come to touch. Hands come down to the heart. Deep breaths. Feel the presence in the body. Inhale, rising up and opening out. Exhale, coming down into our forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, walking the hands out into our downward dog. Release the knees as you exhale. Lower to the mat. Push into the hands. Inhale, rising up through our cobra. Exhale, hips come back. Tuck the toes. Out into our downward dog. Draw that left knee in towards the chest. Move the body forward. Let the left foot come up in between the hands. Bend into that front knee. Let the back heel drop. Inhale, rising up into our warrior two. I'll just switch around so you can see me. That's it, lovely. Finding our strong warrior two. Fully present in our own strength. The past is behind us. The future is out in front of us. And we're rooted here right in this present moment. Release the hands. Straighten that front knee. Draw those left toes out onto a diagonal. Draw the right heel in. Readjust the legs if we need to. Inhale, drawing the hands up to meet. Exhale, sink into those hips, bend into the knees, coming out into our goddess pose. Holding it here. And if we wish, exhale a little deeper, holding the body strong in this moment. Be with the sensations. Inhale, coming out with a smile. Let the hands relax. Walk the feet back into hip distance apart. Palms of the hands out facing forward, shoulders relaxed. This time moving the weight into the right leg, and we're lifting that right foot and allowing it to rest against the right shin. Finding our tree pose. Hands come to prayer at the heart. And it's almost impossible really to not be present when we're balancing. So we really need to have focus in the eyes, feeling into the body where we need to find that strength to hold us. And when you're ready, exhale, release. Walk the feet a little further back out. Releasing the arms either side of the body, turning out that left foot, bending back into that left knee, finding our warrior two. And exhale, release the hands to the mat. Lift that back heel, step it back into our downward dog. Pausing for a breath. And then walking the hands back to the feet into our fold. Exhale it out. Inhale, rising up. Hands come together at the heart. Exhale down into our mountain pose. Holding it here for a few breaths. And stepping out into the center of our mat. I'm going to do one final tree pose. So choosing whichever level you want. Whether the foot's coming over the foot or the foot's coming into the shin, or if you wish, we can take the foot and draw it in to the inner thigh, creating pressure from the thigh to the foot to hold us in place. Sometimes this takes a little bit of working out. So whichever option is for you, and there is no right or wrong way to do this, tree pose is your pose. You're coming into this present moment, into this moment of what you can do right now. So finding the feet a comfortable distance apart. Hands coming out to the side, palms facing forward. Taking some steady, deep breaths. Find yourself fully present, fully absorbed into the body and the mind in this very moment. Moving the weight into your left leg. Lifting that right foot and whichever position you're coming into. Taking the time to steady yourself. Feel the strengthening of the core as everything works into the center. The energy sinks down from the hips through that standing foot. The energy lifts from the center up through the spine, out through the crown of the head. Holding you steady. Hands come to prayer at the heart. Inhale, lift the arms up to the sky if you can. Fingertips reaching up. Exhale the hands out into our goddess style arms. Finding the branches of our tree. Pausing for as many breaths as you can. Exhale, release the hands. Bring them back to prayer. Closing our pose. Release them out either side of the body. Release that foot and just give the leg, especially the left leg, a little shake off. And then come back in to recenter. Nice deep breath in, nice deep breath out. I challenge you to do it with a smile on your face this time. Because no doubt you'll be seeing my concentration face on the screen, which isn't always pretty. But it's really about being fully in that moment. Okay, moving the weight into the right leg. And again, choosing whichever level you want. Whatever allows you to be fully present. Steadying yourself into the balance. Hands come to prayer at the heart when you're ready. Inhale, rising the fingertips up to the sky, stretching through the sides of the body. Exhale, releasing out into our tree, our branches wide. Imagining one side is our past, one side is our future, and in the middle we stand in this present moment. Exhale, release the hands back to prayer. Out in to the sides of the body. And release the foot. Give the legs a little shake. And come back to the back of the mat in our mountain pose. Hands onto our hips. Inhale, lifting up through the spine. Exhale, sending the hips back. Lowering the body towards the thighs. Coming down into our fold. Walking the hands out into our downward dog. Exhale into this pose for the final time. Release the knees to the floor. We're going to wind the knees out to the edge of the mat. Big toes come together. Sink the hips back towards the heels. Hands walk out in front of us. Belly, chest, forehead come down to rest on the mat if we can. If the forehead doesn't quite reach, You can make some fists with the hands and rest the forehead onto the hands. Allow the exhale now to sink you into the mat, into the earth. Feel yourself in your body. Feel your mind focused on you. This is exactly where you need to be in this very moment. Final breath here. Push into the hands as you inhale. Rise the body back up, rolling up through the spine. Head comes up last. Draw the knees together. Let the feet come out to the side and swing them all the way around. Moving a little bit down the mat. Rolling the spine back onto the mat. Release the hands either side of the body, palms facing up. And invitation to come back into our effortless rest pose from the beginning of class, where we walk the feet out to the edges and let the knees fall in to support each other. Coming into our full Shavasana, letting the legs stretch out. Flex through the heels, let the toes fall out to the edges of the mat. Let that out breath begin to relax everything down. Let go of all the effort that's gone before. Let go of any effort that's required when you leave this space. Let yourself come into this final moment of being fully within your body. Close down the eyes if that feels nice. Begin to feel the breath softening as you exhale. Let the mind focus on that exhale, that out breath. Knowing that you have brought presence to your body and your mind. I invite you now to bless all of your past, everything that's brought you into this very moment. Every event, every conversation, every challenge, every joyous moment. Bless all of it. Bless yourself as you lie in this present moment. Bless the way the body feels. Bless the way the mind feels. Bless yourself fully for showing up into this moment and sitting with yourself. And then I'll invite you to bless your future. To bless what lies ahead of you as you rise from this space. Bless all the things that are to come. And know that in any given moment, you can always come back to the now, always come back to you in this present space, knowing that everything that's gone behind you and everything that is to come in front of you all arrives into this very moment right now. Gently now beginning to deepen that in-breath. Draw the prana, the energy, back into the body, feeling yourself reawaken. Finding a gentle rock of the head from side to side. And when you're ready, maybe drawing the knees into the body and taking a gentle rock into the lower back. And then when you're ready, rolling over onto one side and rising back to seated, just to find a comfortable place on your mat. Bringing your hands to prayer at the heart. And for one final time, knowing that we are seated in ourselves, into this present time. You're exactly where you're meant to be. The love and light in my heart bows to the love and light in yours. Namaste, my friends. And allow yourself to go back into your day, back into your week, knowing that you can always come back to you, always come back to this present moment, no matter what's going on around you, no matter what happened before, no matter what might happen in the future. And I hope you really enjoyed that. Thank you for joining me as always. We had a little fairy friend join us at the end there, because that's what energy does. It really encourages our animals and our friends, and the people around us can feel that. So have a beautiful day, whatever you're doing.